Hello, I'm Jessie, and I'm going to talk about what we've learned in Unit 3. So I think this unit definitely covered my weakest areas, just all about being actually in the field and interaction and just what you should be doing. And I feel like I do not have that kind of experience, so I feel like this chapter really addressed that. So I'll start with Chapter 4. This section really goes into what occupational therapy is and kind of gives you a more in-depth description of it and what we're doing in it currently, which I really liked. So it really went into talking about the centennial vision, which means it's like it reflects the commitment to return to the roots of occupational therapy, which is re-engaging in occupation. So that's versus what it is now, more research, education, and scholarly work. So I think it's so important to get it back to helping people do what they want to do, what they wish to do, which is what matters to them. So I feel like that's very important. And it covers all the emerging areas in occupational therapy. So it's aging in place, which is staying home and being more independent, which is awesome. Driver's assessment, which assess drivers after trauma. I didn't really understand the community health and wellness part, just trying to keep people healthy, but I feel like it needed more in-depth. Then there's needs of children and youth, ergonomics, which is fitting people to jobs, which is great after they have been through trauma. You know, that helps them get back on their feet, find out who they are. And then technical device development, which is just assistive technology, which is very interesting. The biggest point of this chapter, I feel like, is to advocate. It's necessary. We know that OT is necessary for a lot of people's health and to get back on their feet, and it's definitely a need. So the next chapter, Chapter 7, really covers roles, responsibilities, and relationships. I really got a good taste of this in my field work because I did not realize how much goes into all the employment, really just a therapy room. There's supervisors, administrators, fieldwork educators, coordinators, director, facility. I mean, it's just crazy. There's so many people and there's so much that goes into it. So I really got, OT is definitely a team process. There's a lot of people involved in it. Not just OT and OTA, there's so much more. Also, it's a lifelong learning process. You're always going to be on your feet learning new steps, new roles. Next is therapeutic relationships. This is a big weakness of mine, I feel like. I have a problem of, I guess I have a personality or maybe a look I have that's not welcoming, and I definitely have to work on it. I feel like I've gotten a little bit better from field work, but I'm still needing to know how to be more welcoming to people because, your therapeutic use of self, which is using your interactions to benefit others, it is key, and I've learned that is the stepping stone to the healing process and rehabilitation process, is making someone feel welcome and safe and like they're actually learning, and it's just so important. And that's a big lesson I've learned in therapy, even in field work. So the last chapter was over clinical reasoning, and this is definitely one of my biggest weaknesses too, because I feel like I don't have a lot of experience in this area because I've never worked in any healthcare. But fieldwork's obviously helped me a lot too. So this clinical reasoning is just basically the process which therapists use to evaluate clients and design effective skills. Again, not a whole lot of experience, but watching my incredible fieldwork supervisor has helped me a lot. It was very interesting to read. But I feel like clinical reasoning, the biggest way to learn it is to be out there in it, in a hands-on environment. I feel like there's only so much you can learn from a book. Research, I feel like to be out there and learning and watching and, even not making mistakes with people, just, learning by doing is so important. Overall, I feel like this whole section has challenged me to just be better. And I plan on doing it. I plan on just learning, being out there in the field, and getting better. So I've enjoyed it. It's definitely been a challenge, but I'm still going.